Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever in the world you may be. We are here at a very different hour for most of you. I know. I just landed in Munich. I'm very excited to be doing a castle tour. And I'll tell you a really great story. As most of you know, my mom transitioned back in May. And as I was going through her stuff, I found a travel journal that she had from 1971, and it was a diary of her trip around Europe that she took. And there was an entry that I just found. I just actually finally had the courage to actually open it and read it. And there was an entry that she found, or that I found, that said, visited the gorgeous castles of Bavaria today. And that's exactly where we're heading today. So I'm really excited to kind of trace my mom's footsteps and to to feel the energy with which she has also experienced too, which is very cool. It's really made me incredibly um, nostalgic today and incredibly um, just missing her and thinking about her. And what I wanted to talk about today in our connection is about meaningful connections and about allowing yourselves to become vulnerable enough to share with people around you, people that you love, people that you don't love. You never even know how your story is resonating with somebody who's sharing a space with you, maybe even an airplane seat, right? Um, Open up your heart, allow your lips to speak. It's one of the greatest meditations that I ever learned in my studies as a Kabbalah student. And when we become that kind of channel for each other, we create something that never existed before, right? Every single connection is something new, something new. And so for today, let's use the energy of the Gemini moon to really kind of reach out and connect with people in a very, very deep way. Please remember that the greatest attribute and the greatest virtue of communication is kindness. Without kindness, communication can oftentimes come across as having a point of view or having a judgment. Not to say that those things are not necessary in a contribution sometimes, but certainly when there's kindness involved, the message lands a lot clearer. You never really know who you're engaging with, and you never really know what that story is going to be. So also be willing to hear what somebody needs to share with you today, because that message is coming from a different place. Like, meaning, what I mean is oftentimes the message is not really about the person who's delivering it, right? How many times have you received something someone said and you go, "Oh my God, I really needed to hear that today." And that's what we want to be mindful of and aware of today. So look at the messages that the universe is sending you through others, and connect that energy, connect those dots, make meaningful connections with each other, and enjoy this beautiful thing that we have, this gift that we have called life and this human experience. Okay, so with that, we're going to start our meditation. I know that this is a very different hour for many of you. This is something new that I'm trying. I know that I usually wait until the usual hour in the US, but I'm going to be very busy for the next 2 weeks. So I wanted to do it first thing in the morning. Okay, so let's close our eyes and let's find ourselves in our heart. For those of you maybe stumbling upon us at these new hours, this is the daily download. The daily download is a 15-minute meditation, and it returns the sparks of light to you that may have been forgotten, to remember and to remind you of who you are. And so from this space, we're going to center ourselves into our heart. And as you center yourself into your heart, I want you to imagine this beautiful, bright, white light in the center of your heart. And from this space in the center of your heart, I want you to begin today by taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose and out through the mouth. One more. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And as you focus your awareness on the center of your heart, imagine this beautiful energy expanding out beyond your heart into your body. Imagine your entire body surrounded by this beautiful white bubble of light. Imagine this ball of light expanding into the room that you're in, into the home, into the land. Expand even more to the city, the town, the state. Expand to the country, the continent, the bodies of water that surround your continent. Expand even more beyond there until you and your ball of light are one with the entire globe. And now expand beyond there, out through the universe, out through different layers of light. Expand beyond there through a golden-like light. Expand through the golden-like light into a jelly-like substance light. Expand through the jelly-like substance light into a beautiful pink haze, which is the law of compassion. And through the law of compassion, you enter into the seventh plane of all that is, the plane of creation, of oneness, and of complete totality. Expand even more to acknowledge your energy becoming one with every single atom and molecule in existence. Here. From here, we're going to ask for some downloads for the group today. For those of you who may be joining for the first time, downloads are just energies that we receive into our subconscious thoughts, feelings, emotions, experiences. This is a theta healing meditation. You're in a theta brainwave. From this space, we can change our beliefs. Change your beliefs, you change your reality. So let's see what we've got here today. So there's an energy that I get today that I want to address because perhaps it is relating to something you may be going through. The energy is feels like a pushy type of energy. You know, when people are in line and they're trying to get to the front, you feel them pushing and pushing and pushing. And even though they may not mean it, maybe they say, oh, no, the person behind me is pushing. Sorry, right? What is that chain reaction that we find ourselves victim to? You know, in these situations, I always manage to kind of just step out of that line, step out of that place with which people are pushing and shoving. You may be feeling this kind of energy today, this pushing and shoving. What choice do you have? What would allow this to be ease? What would allow this to contribute to you, to work for you in the highest and best and easiest way possible? If you'd like that, say yes. And would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like, and is in every single cell of your body to march to the beat of your own drum? that you're worthy of marching to the beat of your own drum, and that it's safe for you to march to the beat of your own drum. Would you like to know what it feels like to actually be the one who changes the energy from pushing and shoving to allowing, perceiving, receiving? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to illuminate your light, to share your light? I've been really meditating on this whole thing that we have in today's day and age about canceling culture. How people are really trying to force their opinions and their programs and their agendas onto other people, mostly knowingly and unknowingly, right? Not even really knowing the big picture. I heard a story today, won't bore you with it, but it really quite disturbed me, about an influencer who was getting canceled for having fun. Somebody was criticizing them about how the world was going to hell and they are off in Bali having a great time living their life, and how could they? To what degree do we perceive that we know everything, that we know the big picture, that we know better than others? So, with this meaningful connection energy that we have today, would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like it is, to ask more questions, to dive deeper, to get to know a situation before you create a judgment so great as to quote unquote cancel them? So, if you'd like that, say yes. And if you've ever been on the other end of that, maybe somebody threatened to cancel, or maybe you were canceled, whatever that may mean to you, whatever reasoning and justification that people placed on you in order to limit you, would you like to release, let go, send that energy back to the universe with consciousness attached? Who does that belong to? And would you like to know what it feels like, looks like, tastes like, smells like, sounds like, and is to remain grounded and true in your truth and in your knowing? If you'd like that, say yes. Would you like to know what it feels like to be the person in a situation when someone may be wrongly accused or canceled, to be the one who actually sticks up for them, or actually is willing to forgive them if they were canceled for quote unquote good reasons, whatever that means? Would you be the one to extend a hand and say, hey, we all fuck up every once in a while. Let's create something new together. Let's create a bridge together where we can release ourselves from the burdens of the past and our past consciousness and the lessons that we had yet to learn. So if you'd like that, say yes. And last but not least, would you like to have the Creator's definition of connection, communication, the value of connection, the value of communication, that you're worthy of having value in communication? If you'd like that, say yes. Now, let's shift our energy to those who require healing today. Please, as we do so, let's just imagine them surrounded in the Creator's love and in the Creator's light. Imagine them happy, healthy, safe, and protected. So I'd like for you to send healing to Joan today. Happy, healthy, safe, and protected. Can you also please send unconditional healing and light to Greg and to Anne, to Polly, to Ben, to Carmazina, to Ayo, Andrea. Happy, healthy, safe, protected. Let's also place in healing today to Susie. Happy, healthy, safe, and protected. Last but not least, would you like to know that you are unconditional love? That you be unconditional love, and that unconditional love is your birthright? If you'd like that, say yes. Now take your palms, rub your palms together, faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Place your palms over your eyes. Your eyes are the windows to your soul. When you're ready, you can open up your eyes. Allow that energy to come into your body and into your being. Place your hands on your heart. Congratulate yourself. Thank yourself for being here, for showing up, and for being a part of our soul family. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you so much, friends. As a reminder, I know that we usually do this at 8:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2:45 p.m. Central European Time. However, we're going to be doing it at different times for the next 2 weeks, so you can always come back and watch the replay. Always. Okay? Thank you, friends. Have a beautiful day, and I love you all. Hello, dear Abby. Great to see you. Bye, everyone.